arms defense. This is used when the opponent grabs a rear bear hug and our arms are pinned right here. So if my opponent grabs over top of my arms, the first thing I need to address here is whether or not I can bend my arms here. If he grabs a little lower and I can't bend my arms, I'm unable to step behind him to complete the move. Okay, so I've got to be able to bend my arms to 90 degrees to be able to step behind and complete the move. Okay, so one of the most common mistakes I see on this move is if I can already bend my arms to 90, I don't have to do anything else. Okay, if he grabs lower and I can't bend, I'm going to lower in my base and lift my arms. Okay, I'm not looking to break there. I'm just looking to be able to bend my arms to 90. If I can bend my arms to 90, it means I can poke my butt out and step this leg behind. Okay, if I can't bend, again, I can't poke my butt out and I can't step the leg behind. So if he's low, I'm lowering and raising my hands until I can bend to 90. So lowering my base, raising my hands. What I don't want to do is if he's already high, I don't want to raise this any higher than this. Okay, so if I can already bend to 90, what I don't want to do is lower my base and raise my arms, because what I'll do is put myself in a choke, or what'll end up happening is as I step through, a lot of times I either go into the headlock, or even if I don't, if this arm ends up on top, I can't complete the move correctly. And I'll show why later. Okay. So for now, I'm looking to see if I can bend to 90. If I can bend to 90, I'm okay to do the move. If he's low, I've got to drop, bend my arms to 90. Now I can go. So from here, I'm shooting the butt through. Okay. If I can poke my butt out, I can step the leg behind. From here, I'm scooping behind the knees. I'm not grabbing the pants, I'm scooping the legs. And then I'm squatting and lifting here, okay? I can't lift from here because I'm using all back. I need to squat, get my posture, and now I can lift with the legs, okay? Very, very important. Got to get my hips under to get my legs in the game. So if I do this correctly, butt pokes out, leg steps behind, cupping the legs, squatting under, getting my posture, I should be able to lift my partner and he'll rest right here on my quad, okay? The tighter he grabs me, the more he's carrying his own weight. Okay, so the reason this is effective is because he's really holding himself up and you don't have to. But we still got to get the legs under, the hips under, and get our posture so that our legs are lifting. So arms to 90, butt pokes out, leg steps, cup the legs, hips go under, posture. I lift them here, okay? Right here is a very important step. I've got to get his legs above his head. If his head stays above his legs and I just try and chuck his legs, which is a common thing that I see, what'll happen, his legs will swing around and he lands on his feet. So what this looks like, I do everything correctly, but I don't get his legs up. I try and chuck him, and he lands on his feet. So, what I'm gonna do is sink his upper body. So I'm gonna keep his legs high, and I'm just gonna bounce, and you'll see his upper body just slide down mine. So we're here. I'm setting everything up. I get to this point, and from here, I'm just letting his upper body fall, and then I don't have to throw his legs high. If he stays wrapped, just for the sake of showing, I'm gonna have my partner squeeze really tight on my upper body so that he can't sink, okay? And I can barely breathe. So I'm coming here. If I'm unable to sink his upper body, I can't get the move because his head hasn't gone below his feet, okay? So generally when we pick someone up off their feet, they tend to kind of flail the arms. And so even though he may not let go, it's kind of a natural instinct from what I found that they'll loosen the grip, okay? It's not very common that they'll maintain that real tight grip. So when I pick him up, you usually won't have issues with him sinking. Okay, I can just get skinny, bounce. A lot of times he might let go right there. And what you'll see is a lot of times he naturally grabs right there once his grip breaks. I'm gonna catch it, and I can turn in to the arm lock. Okay. Sometimes they don't grab, and they just fall, and we don't end up with the arm lock, and that's okay too. So, he's already grabbing high enough. Butt, leg, scoop the legs, squat, posture, lift. I'm gonna sink my opponent, just drop him. Sometimes he lets go, and I can just establish cross body, okay? The key takeaways, the important details are not lowering your base if you can already bend the arms to 90, okay? And making sure that my opponent's head drops below the legs, okay? So many times what we try and do is lift the legs above the head, and that's very difficult to do, okay? If I get to this point and I try and throw his legs high, there's really no guarantee that his legs are gonna get above his head and stay above the head. So instead, we're gonna sink the head below the feet. And at that point, we basically just let go and he falls with his feet in the air. So instead of a throw, thinking of this as a throw, I just think of it as a lift and kind of a drop. So if he grabs lower, can't bend, lowering base, my arms are at 90, so I know I can move here, sinking, and I just drop him. I don't have to throw him, okay? To show it a couple times wrong, the most common mistakes, okay, I'm already able to bend, and yet I still lower my base. Okay, even if he doesn't choke me from here, when I step through, what'll happen is this arm will come on top of the shoulder. Even if he doesn't headlock me here, I go to do the move, and because that arm is over, I can't sink him, because he's got this seatbelt on me, okay? So the arm over prevents him from sliding down and prevents his head from going low. So if ever that arm comes above, it's probably because we sank when we didn't need to. And at that point, we have to treat it like a headlock, okay? So anytime the arm is over, because I lowered my base when I didn't need to, it's either gonna go into a choke prevention, or if I get to this point, it's gonna go into a headlock prevention, okay? So, there we are.